Everyone says practice speaking more, but what if that advice is actually slowing you down? Most learners believe that if they speak more, they will become fluent faster. It sounds logical, so they keep pushing themselves to talk even when they feel stuck. But the reality is, this approach is incomplete. Speaking is only one part of the process, not the starting point. That's why many people practice for months and still don't see real improvement. But if speaking isn't the first step, then what is? Fluency has a natural order, and most people are breaking it. Language learning doesn't start with speaking, it starts with listening. Think about how children learn. They spend months just listening before they say their first word. They hear sounds, patterns, and sentences again and again, and their brain slowly understands how the language works. This is the natural process the brain follows. But most learners skip this step and try to speak too early. And this is exactly where most learners go wrong. You can practice speaking for months and still sound unnatural. Why? Because without enough input, your brain has nothing real to use. You start building sentences by force, thinking about grammar, translating from your own language, and guessing what sounds right. This makes your speech slow and unnatural. Over time, it becomes frustrating because you are putting in effort but not seeing real progress. The problem is not your speaking practice, because something critical is missing, and it's not what you think. Your brain.
You don't need to force fluency. It builds itself. When you listen regularly, your brain starts learning in the background, without effort. You begin to recognize patterns, and sentences form naturally in your mind, without translation. This is called subconscious learning, and it's how real fluency develops. Instead of memorizing rules or forcing words, you start speaking in a more natural and smooth way. That's the difference between real fluency and memorized English. But there's a condition. Listening alone is not enough. Just playing English in the background won't fix your speaking. Many learners think that hearing English while doing other things is enough, but this is passive listening, and it gives very little progress. Your brain is not fully paying attention, so it doesn't absorb the language properly. Active listening is different. It means you focus on the words, try to understand the meaning, and notice how sentences are formed. This kind of listening trains your brain much faster. So, how do you turn listening into real speaking skill? This is where most learners fail. They listen, but never use it. They hear English, understand it, but never try to repeat or practice it out loud. Repetition is the key that connects listening with speaking. When you repeat what you hear, your mouth starts learning the correct sounds. Shadowing takes it even further. You speak at the same time as the speaker, copying rhythm and tone. This creates a strong connection between your ears and mouth. And when you do this consistently, one major problem disappears. Confidence doesn't come from speaking. It comes from familiarity. Most learners feel nervous when they speak English because the sounds feel strange and unfamiliar. Their brain is not used to hearing or processing English naturally, so it creates fear and hesitation.
Comfort replaces fear because nothing feels new anymore. But there's another hidden benefit most people never notice. Stop studying pronunciation rules, start hearing them. When you listen to natural English regularly, you automatically begin to copy the way native speakers talk. Your brain picks up accent, rhythm, and stress patterns without you even trying. Over time, your pronunciation becomes smoother and more natural because you are learning by exposure, not by memorizing rules. Intonation also improves as you hear how sentences rise and fall in real conversations. And this leads to the biggest shift in your learning. It's not listening or speaking. It's the right combination of both. Many learners make the mistake of choosing one and ignoring the other. But real fluency comes from balance. Listening gives you input, which means the language you understand and store in your brain. Speaking is output, where you use what you have learned. When both work together, your learning becomes faster and more natural. This is the smart way to build real communication skills instead of just memorizing English. So, What's the fastest way to apply all this starting today? You don't need hours, just 5 minutes done right. Choose a short audio, around 30 to 60 seconds, and focus on it carefully. First, listen without stopping to understand the meaning. Then, play it again and repeat each sentence out loud. Do this 2 or 3 times until you feel comfortable with the words. This simple routine trains both your ears and your mouth at the same time. The key is consistency, not long hours of study. And if you follow this consistently, the results will surprise you. The truth is simple, but most people ignore it. Listening is the real foundation of learning English, while speaking is just the result of what you have already taken in. If your input is weak, your output will always struggle. But when you build strong listening habits, speaking starts to feel natural and automatic. This is the